fasted for days into it. I stopped drinking water a long time ago. I think
History was made in the United States Senate this week, as Senator Cory Booker stood on the Senate floor for an astonishing 25 hours and 4 minutes, breaking the record for the longest speech ever delivered in the chamber. It was a moment of defiance, endurance, and political protest, aimed squarely at former President Donald Trump and the Republican-controlled Senate. Booker's marathon address wasn't just about setting a record, it was a symbolic stand against what he called a grave and urgent moment in American history. He used his time to highlight the struggles of everyday Americans, criticize Trump's policies, and rally his fellow Democrats to take bolder action. But this was no ordinary speech. It was a test of both physical and mental endurance, requiring Booker to remain standing the entire time, without breaks for food, rest, or even the bathroom. The challenge was enormous, but so was his determination. The previous record had stood for nearly 7 decades. Republican Senator Strom Thurmond held the title since 1957, when he spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes. Booker, an African-American senator and former presidential candidate, made sure to acknowledge the historical weight of his feat. "I'm here because, as powerful as he was, the people are more powerful," he said, turning a dark chapter of history into a rallying cry for change. His speech, however, was not a traditional filibuster which is designed to obstruct a bill's passage. Instead, it was a symbolic act, slowing down the Senate's legislative business and forcing a nationwide conversation about Trump's influence on American democracy. For over 25 hours, Booker delivered one of the most grueling performances in Senate history. His speech covered a range of topics, from poetry and sports to deeply personal stories from his constituents. He shared letters from Americans who had suffered under Trump's policies, reinforcing his argument that the former president's return to power posed a serious threat. To keep himself going, Booker strategically took questions from fellow Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Senators Dick Durbin and Kirsten Gillibrand. This allowed him brief moments of relief while still keeping the speech alive. But despite his tactics, the physical toll was undeniable. Booker later revealed that he had stopped drinking water for hours, hoping to avoid any interruptions.
for days into it. I stopped drinking water a long time ago. I think that had good and bad benefits. I definitely started cramping up from lack of water. So if some of you really drink nothing, at the end I was just trying to do something to stop my muscles from cramping. So there's just a lot of tactics I was using to try to make sure that I could stand for that long.
As the hours stretched on, fatigue set in. "Hello everybody, I'm very sore, weary and tired," he said after stepping away from the podium. But even in exhaustion he remained resolute, saying, "There are a lot of people out there asking Democrats to do more and to take risks."
Written about and talked about, there's a lot of people out there asking Democrats to do more and to take risks and do things differently. This seemed like the right thing to do, and from what my staff is telling me, a lot of people watched, and so we'll see what it is. I just think a lot of us have to do a lot more, including myself. Senator.
Booker's speech is now officially the longest in United States Senate history, surpassing even Ted Cruz's 21-hour filibuster against Obamacare in 2013. But the real question is, what impact will it have? With Democrats currently out of power in the White House, Senate, and House of Representatives, Booker's speech was a call to action, a challenge to his colleagues to be bolder, louder, and more willing to fight. As he left the Senate floor, one message lingered: the people are more powerful than any one leader. Whether his record-breaking stand translates into real political change remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Cory Booker just made history.